Okay, so we're all set here. Very good. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. So this is the file that, so this is the file we're going to build, we're going to try to build today. And let's see how far we get to do. And this is the file I assume it's on the handout. So it's on the handout that I'll share with you. You don't need to have it open or anything, so ignore the link. You can focus on it after the class. We're gonna rebuild this, we're gonna build this file together during this class from scratch. So this file is on Slack and is also on the handout. So you will have to download it to your computer and then open it with Power BI. So it's a Power BI file. And we're gonna recreate it. And this is what we're gonna recreate today. And this is with the sample data that we've been using. So we're gonna go here to the sample data. So like we have done before. So, and let me take this away. This is just showing on my screen. It's not gonna show on your screen because I've been working on this Power BI. So Power BI tries to remember, tries to remind me, hey, do you have anything that you want to keep? So that's why it might not be showing on your side. So I'm gonna click here, try a sample data set like we have done it before. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm looking at the chat here and at Slack. So I welcome any questions. So I'm gonna click load sample database. And then we're gonna click financials. And then we're gonna click transform like we did last time. And then we're gonna make sure we have the right data type. You may have already the right data type. So you might not need this, which is good. I have a different setting than you have because I have a setting that asks me to, prompts me to do to change the data type. So I can show you how to change the data type. But most likely for you, it already did the data type change. And if not, you'll do it. So, and let me, my screen is, I'll make it really big. So it has this, it's doing these weird things here. That's why it's hard to navigate for me because I made it really big for all of you guys to see. And then now it's kind of weird to navigate. So I'm gonna have to do some rearranging. There it is. So right here, I'm just gonna go and do the auto detect. So I'm gonna go to transform. I can go ahead and change it, or I can just do detect data type and it's detected, or I can just do right click, go here, data type, and choose the data type text. Or it's just easier for me to detect it because it's very simple. It's nothing, I'm not asking for anything special. It's just gonna go either to text or whole number. And then I'm gonna remove also the data that is extra. So the discount band doesn't have any new information for me. So I'm gonna remove it. So I'm gonna remove this because it doesn't have any added value. So I'm gonna get units sold. I'm gonna detect the data that's correct. Manufacturing price, detect data, sales price. I'm just gonna detect data just because it's faster for me to do that way. You can choose the best method that you can either change it here to a whole number, or you can do the detect, whatever you feel like. This discount also, it doesn't have any added value to me. So I'm gonna remove it because it doesn't affect the rest of the data. Like if I remove it, it doesn't hurt the data. So it's independent of the rest of the data. This one is an extra because it's the same than the profit. So I'm just gonna remove it, remove this column, and I'm just gonna detect this one. And the date, I'm just gonna detect, month number, detect, and then the year detect. And I have that. And then I'm gonna make a change here with the product. I don't like to call it product. I prefer to call it, because I'm gonna show this to maybe other people who are not familiar with this data. I want something that can be read, is more friendly to the people, the audience. So I'm gonna change it to something, maybe car type, car name, because these are cars. All this data is car sales, all cars, these cars. Some of you might recognize the name of this. These are Toyota. I think some are Toyota. This is a Toyota Paseo. And some other ones, I think, I don't know, these are Volkswagen. You can tell me in the chat if you recognize those. They are old, they don't make these cars anymore. But those are cars. So when I'm done, I'm good with this. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do close and apply. And that's gonna save and exit. So it's gonna save my changes and it's gonna exit. And then it's gonna load up the data. And I don't have any visuals yet. I haven't built the visuals, so I can go here to the data. And that's where I'm gonna see the data that I have loaded. And you can see the different labels. So this is what we learned how to do last week. So any questions so far? All good? Okay, so now I'm going to show you, because we haven't done it before, I'm going to show you how to save the file and then how to get the file back up, because we haven't done that before. So I'm going to save this file. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and you can save whatever you want to save it. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to do cart sales. And I'm going to put 2 because I have 2 files. You can name it the way you want it, but I have to do this because I have 2 files with the same name. And I'm going to save it on my desktop. I'm going to save. Okay, and then I can close Power BI. Okay, when I open Power BI, I'm going to close the whole thing. And everything's going to be saved. And then I'm going to open. It's going to show up at the start. And it's going to show up here too. But I want to show you where it's going to, most likely it's going to show up at the start. If not, we're going to have to find it. So yeah, this window, let's see. So my window is a little bit, because I have to scale up for all of you to see. So it's not cooperating. So I cannot make it smaller. But you will, here on the left for you, it should show up the latest files you work on. So you can click there on the latest file. So here they should be the latest file. If not, there should be get file on that side, or you can close it and you can open report, because that's what created. And see, it's not showing here yet, but we can go browse report or open report and go to desktop and find your file. And where did it go? Because it's always, where did it go? There it is, car sales 2. And then it's gonna show up. So that's how you retrieve it. So you save it and then you can retrieve it, and nothing has been lost. But remember to change it, to always save it in your computer, and then you can retrieve it, and nothing is, you don't lose anything. And then these panels here, you can just click on this arrows, so they'll hide. So the first thing we're gonna do is the map. So we're gonna do 2 maps. So we're gonna do, these are the report page. So we're gonna do a report. So visual report, the report has many visuals. And so the report has more than 1 page. So when I say report, it means the whole environment of the pages and the visuals. So I'm gonna put 2 pages. So I'm gonna do 2 maps on each one. So the first map we're gonna do is the one you're familiar with. And we're gonna do the world map. And I'm gonna move it right here because I want it to be in the corner. Then I'm gonna expand the labels, and I want profits. So I want profits by country. And in this map that I have here, it doesn't ask me for latitude and longitude. Some other maps are gonna ask you for geographical data, geodata. But in this map, you didn't miss anything. We're just doing the map, and you can catch up the recording for the last 10 minutes. But you just got in the important part. Is you want to load up the data, the sample data that we did last week. You'll be okay. So we're just doing the same sample data. So this map that we're using only requires the countries or states or cities. There are other maps that are more sophisticated. They're gonna ask you for latitude and longitude, and then you'll have to get that data for longitude and latitude. So luckily for this specific map that we are gonna use, doesn't ask you for that. So we just put country for location, because that's the only part it requires. So you see here, when it ask one of the input to ask is location, is no latitude and longitude, it's asked only for location. So location could be city, any city in the world, any state, any county, any, what you call them, municipal, province, anything that means a location that is registered in a geographical database. So you can put there. And then you can also use latitude and longitude if you'll have it, to be more precise, but it's not required for this specific map. And then the size, it means is the bubble. We're gonna have a circle So the value is gonna be either small or big. So the circle is gonna be either small or big, depending of the value. So we're gonna put the profit. So if the profit is small, it's gonna have a bigger value relative to a bigger profit. And you can also increase the relative size of those bubbles. They call bubbles. So you're gonna see that. So we're gonna put profit. So you just click profit and it goes right here under size. And you can do sales, you can do anything that's numerical. And remember, anything that has the sigma is something aggregate you can count, therefore you can add, therefore you can, the Power BI can do a mathematical addition, and that's a value that you can put here as a size. So size is the size of the bubble or the circle that you're gonna see on the map. So we're gonna put, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you can see it, what I mean by the bubble. And then you use those 3 points to move it. So you don't move it here. You move it here, you move the map inside. You go to the 3 points and you move the map. And also you click here, you can remove it. Okay, so then we can go to the formatting part. So you click on this paint roller, you go to the paint roller, we can format it. And again, mine, because I have to scale up so you all can see it on Zoom, it's hard for me to go, so, and I have to click on it. Click on it, then the formatting, paint, brush, and there is general. General is the size and the location, but I want to look at the map, something else in the map. Map controls, so that's what I want. Map controls. I want to put zoom bottoms. If it lets me do this, I'm gonna have to put this. It's not good. It's really. One second. Maybe I did the scaling too big. Now it's working against me. So there's zoom bottoms, and these zoom bottoms are going to help you. Let's see if this one is. No. Oh, there it is. So that zoom bottoms are going to be, when you click the zoom bottoms, there it is. So you can actually interact with the map, and now you have more control over the map. And now you can actually focus on the area, because there is a lot of parts of the map that you don't care. And then the bubbles, which are here, they're called bubbles. You can change the size of the bubbles. But I'm not gonna be able to do that too much because of the scaling. Let me see if I can change this scaling, because it's just, no, it's not gonna let me do it. So that's, but you can try on your side and look at the bubbles and try to make these bubbles bigger. You can make that circle bigger. And when you make the circle bigger, then you can expand the effect and make the effect see better. It's not like you're changing the value, you're just making more impactful. So see how the United States looks very small, but if you make the bubbles bigger, they all get bigger. So now you can see the profits. Oh yeah, France is bigger, but United States is also big. So it's not like it's totally very small. So you can change the color too. So maybe I need to do that. See if it let me do the bubbles. The bubbles, there it is, I got it. So see if it, there it is. So you can see, you can change the bubbles. So now it's proportionate. So now you can see them better and you can change the color too. So this is something you can play around. And if you like colors, you can do that. So this is one map. And I think I showed this before. And this is just, you can play also with a heat. There is a heat map. And the heat map is going to be interesting if you see like a watercolor effect. I don't know if you've seen, especially you see like in the census, where you see more darker around cities, or also in the weather, whether you see like parts of the maps are darker than the others. So you can play around. And if you have specific data that goes into counties or county level or city level, it gets, you can see the spread of that. So let's try another map, which is the country, the whole country is selected. So this is to show what, instead of showing a value, you can see what countries have a particular product. So for example, in this case, we have, I made one, so I'm going to show you the final. So you see, I think somebody was asking about that last time. And this is going to take some tweaking. You have to upload a file, and the file is in the handout. So this is how it's going to look. This map, I'll give you the map in the handout, and you have to upload it. I'm going to show you how to upload it. So that file is in the handout. You have to download it, and then you have to upload it. So this is to show profit by country, so you can see what countries you're talking about. So this is the idea here, because not all countries are the ones involved in this analysis. Only few countries in the world are involved in the analysis. So that's the point of this map. So I'm gonna go and create a map. So this is called a shape map. To do the shape map, you need to go, I already did this, but you have to go in your Power BI, go to options, and it's the explanation, all the process is in the handout. Go to options, then go where it says preview features, and then you have to click shape map. Mine is already checked, but for you, most likely it's gonna be unchecked. And then it's gonna ask you to close Power BI. You have to close Power BI and restart Power BI. That's why I already did that. When you open Power BI again, you're gonna see this icon show up on your visualization. So you have that icon showing up. You're going to click on it. And then again, I'm gonna move it right here. Then the location, I'm gonna put country, and this is also one of these that you can use location instead of geolocation. So I'm gonna put country. Instead, it's showing United States. That's the default. I'm gonna have to change that, and that's why we have a file for the world. So I'm gonna go and load up profit. So here, what it says, color saturation, I'm gonna add the value. So before we have size and I put profit. So it's kind of misleading. Here, color saturation, I'm gonna add profit. So it's the measure, what I want to show, the output, or what I'm measuring. So it's not very user-friendly, but that's the way it's done. So this is what I'm gonna show in my map, is the profit. This is what I'm gonna draw. So the color saturation is gonna be the value of the profit. It doesn't make any sense, I know, but I didn't make this. So then we need to change it to the world, right? So after we make it to the world, we need to go and find the map. So we need to do map, and it's not data color, where is the map? Let me check my notes, because I can see this whole thing. And I need to see where I have to go.
Is it data colors?
Oh, data colors. Maybe it's data colors. No, it's not data colors. It's thank you anyway. It's something, is I have to enter. Where did I see it? I have to put shape. Okay, shape. I have to go to shape. Shape. And shape, under shape, there is a place where it says map United States, right here. See where it says USA states?
Mm-hmm.
That's the map we're seeing, right? We need to change that. So we need to go where it says add map. So when we go to add map, we need to bring a file. And I need to be very careful here. There, here, I think it's this one. No. View map kit. Yeah, there it is. Add map. Add map. Then I'm gonna go to my file, and you had a file on your handout at the beginning of your, when I had the maps are at the beginning of your handouts. There is the file there. And but I'm going to show you, because this is tricky, because it was even tricky to me. So you're going to find, I'm going to find my map. It's called world map.json. So it's a JSON file. JSON is something is done on web design. So you just click on it, and it's gonna go into there, and voila, you have a world map. That's all you need to do. So these are, JSON is the format, the Power BI uses for maps.
Yeah.
So somebody has done this collection of maps and put it on GitHub. So I went to GitHub and I got this map. And it's not a map, it's actually a file full of numbers. And when Power BI read all this list of numbers, puts this out, the output is this world map. And you can go and find maps for almost anywhere in the world. So, so this is how you find it. So that's how you get your map for the world. And this is called a shape map, and it's gonna be in your handout. And I'm gonna save it before. And it's not hard. What it was hard is finding how to do this. You're gonna go, it's on the, so you go to the handout. You're gonna go scroll. So you're gonna see that I start with maps. This is the regular maps that I talk about, and then you're gonna see here, Power World Map highlight countries. This is where they explain the map, the world maps, and how to get the map, the world map app into your computer, where to get it, and how to put it in Power BI. And these are how Power BI talks about shape maps. But Power BI doesn't give you the world map. It doesn't give you that big map. But this link here, and this is the link. And again, you can click on it and it's gonna download. And this is the world map without Antarctica. And then if you go here to this Stack Flow post, you can find also the all kind of maps, map with Antarctica, map, any map you want. Okay, so that's how you get the interesting map. Okay, so we're good with that. Any question so far? And you can go on the formatting part and change the colors. You can interact, and on the handout, you can look about, you know, how to change colors, how to change the background, how to coordinate colors, and so on. And there is no way to change this. Like I was trying to get this Alaska together, and I tried 1,000 times, and there is no way to change it. Okay, so any questions so far?
I have a question. How you went to that shape map? Like go to file and options?
The shape map.
Yeah, but you have to go to file under options and then select options and settings.
Yeah, you have to see here
Oh,
on this tutorial here, it tells you how to set up your, you have to go here. It tells you exactly what to do
okay,
on
okay.
Power BI to set up your Power BI.
Okay.
So you have to go to option settings, and then you have to click here, and then you need to shut down Power BI and restart Power BI again.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, but follow this, and then after you follow this, then go back to and upload this file like I just did, because this tutorial here doesn't tell you how to put the world map.
Okay.
It tells you how to put Texas and India or France, but doesn't tell you how to put the whole map together.
Okay. Okay. Understand. Thank you.
How can you download the JSON file? You just click on it on the handout. Let me put it on Slack too, since I'm on this computer. Let me put it on Slack too, since before I forget. Here it is. That's the JSON map. And see, you can see on the Slack preview is all numbers. There is no graphics. Okay, so good. These are all good questions. So now that we have that, let's move to something else. Slice. We're gonna do some slicers. So the slicers are actually I think they're more fascinating than maps. So, well, let's do one slicers here. So slicers work on, they make the whole thing very interactive, the whole report very interactive. So I'm gonna get this slicer and I'm just gonna put countries now. Just one countries. And then I'm gonna put this horizontal. It didn't find alignment. I think it's alignment. No. Where it is. Really, I really did great with this scaling. Orientation. There it is. I saw it. Orientation. Vertical. So I'm going to change the orientation to horizontal. And there it is. And I was going to change colors, but since I have such a small real estate here, I'm not going to change it. But what the slicer is going to do, I can click here and it's going to interact with any visual that is on this report. And I can also, if I do control click, I can multi-select. So I can, oh, why is not letting me multi-select? I should be able to. Well, I think maybe it's not letting me multi-select. Selecting controls. So if you go to selecting controls, you should be able to multi-select. Yeah, multi-select is correct. There it is. So you can multi-select. So you can highlight the ones that you want, or I can highlight only one. So this is just to highlight one thing. And also here, I can put another graph here in a vertical graph with profits. And I can put, let's put country and profits. And the other thing I can do, I can highlight France and it's gonna only highlight France there. I can select a couple of these bars and it's gonna highlight only those that I touch. Or I can click out, or I can click this one again and it'll all go. So those are the couple things that are interactive. You can interact with the graph. You can also put a slicer with numbers. So I can put here a slicer with numeric. So I'm going to put year. And there is a little drop down here. I don't know if you can see it on my Zoom. There is a drop down caret. And I can put list in the list. And I also can do, there is a button here. I can put all, but I can click only for the year. So it's gonna give me it's gonna highlight only the year or the year that I'm selecting. So I can drill down on this. I can be very specific on this. And also I can make it bigger. I'm not gonna do it because my interface is not very good, but you can go and change and make it this really big. The other thing, what is the other thing I wanted to do? See, what is the other thing? And you can do they do the calculations. So we're gonna do a couple calculations. So for example, if I want to know here so we have a couple calculations here that are already calculated. So if you see here, I can show you this one. So so there are a couple calculations here. I have the gross total sales, the sales average, the profit sales, and the profit average or mean. These were calculated by using calculations that I design. So I can design my own calculations. The computer can give you, can calculate, use these aggregates. It can do this on implicit calculation. Implicit means that it's gonna use some of this indirect calculation. It can do some of this, use some of these numbers here to do calculation. However, they are not very flexible because you cannot use it across the board. It's best of practice to develop, have those calculation independent so you can use it across the board. So if you have the gross sales already defined, you can use it and reuse it in other applications. So for example, if I have the gross sales here, I can use it in other application. I can use it for in other formulas. I can call it and have it there when I need it. So that's why we do measures. So these are called measures. So to do measures, so let's do a simple measure like a sum. We're gonna go here to, where are we at? And what we are in home, we're gonna click new measure. And this is called, we're gonna use something called DAX. It's the language that is used in Power BI. So we can do total sales. And on total sales, we're just gonna use sum. And when you do sum, it's, I don't know if you're familiar with Excel, you might recognize the similitude. So you're gonna double click when you see the function that you wanna use, you're gonna double click. And then you're gonna start saying, okay, I want total sales. So what is the label on my data that I want to use? So the label on my data I want to use is called gross sales. So I start typing gross sales. And then it shows up. So this is the table financials, and the column on the table is called gross sales. So I double click on it and then I press enter. And then there is a measure, and you're gonna recognize it here because it has the icon of a calculator. That is called total sales. So that's something you can use and reuse. And what it means to use and reuse. So for example, here I have this card here. And then on this card, I can just move this total sales. So right here, I don't have to do this anytime I use it. So for example, I can go back here and use this again. And I can use it with another formula. So if I want to know an average, or if I want to do another calculation, I can use that total sales. So I can do an average either by average total sales. So we can do this total sales average, and there it is, the formula, double click, and then we do total sales, gross sale, gross sale, double click, and then it should be created. Where is created? There it is. And then I get another card and I can put it there. And I'm just using cards. This could be a table. You can create a table that have different information, or you can also do maximum and minimum. So you can do we can do net sales because we don't have so if you want to do maximum minus minimum sales, you can do max and gross sales, and then close parentheses, and then minimum. And this is a more elaborate calculation. And then I just doing the cards as a lack of a better example, but there are other uses to do that. So that's for DAX. And then you want to see what DAX is. There are a lot of tutorials for that, and but now they are very helpful to create formulas. And if you want to share this, when you're done, you save it. And of course, this is a Power BI file. So a Power BI file, you can only share it with people who has Power BI. So you can publish it. When you publish it, it's gonna go to, you'll have to have an account with your Power BI on the web. So you will publish on your Power BI online, on your workspace, or it'll show up on your workspace if you have the ability to have your workspace. If you have the as a workspace online for Power BI, it'll be there. Also, you can go and export it as a PDF, and you generate the report on PDF. Of course, it's not, if you have anything that is interactive, of course, it's not gonna be the same thing, but you can create an infographic. See, that's the way it's gonna be in PDF, so you can send it to other people that way. Or you can, if they have Power BI, you may be able to send it to other person who has Power BI, either via file transfer because they're large files, or any other way. Okay, so any questions at this time? We have gone through a lot. I just want to reiterate that on the handout, you have the file, the final file that I have created here, where there is more things to see, and you can use this file and see what I have done. Of course, there is more visuals, and you can go in it and look how I did it, and you can use the handout to see how everything works. And for example, this one, I used the key influencer, which is with an alternative intelligent design. So that is like the AI bot they have. And this is a tree map, and it's like a graphical representation to show how much is gross sales in size. This is a very popular infographic to show in size how much is gross in size in dimensions compared to some other measure. So you see that gross sales is much bigger than profits compared to profits. So it's something that is tangible to a lot of people.